Yeah, certainly the media has been used to actually reproduce oppressive social orders, or the socio-economic orders, or socio-political orders all over the world. And role played by media can be very dangerous, not only in management of conflict, but actually in initiating conflict, and also in camouflaging, the injustices that are happening. And as a Palestinian who've actually worked as a media practitioner for so long, and have witnessed how the Western media have been, covering the Palestine-Israeli conflict, or even other conflicts in the region. And there is a lot of research about that. It makes you want to take a proactive approach to actually stop this media conglomerates monopoly over the news setting agendas on how conflicts are being perceived. And we have seen actually a lot of misreporting, a lot of misconceptions, and I would like to say words can also kill like bombs. Words can kill like bombs. Words can justify genocidal activity. Like for example, I'm trying to, the war on Gaza, the war on Gaza was a very classical example, very recent example, in how the media has been employed to, war crimes in front of all of us have been committed, and still the media, a lot of media in the West try to mitigate the effects of this, this. And here, that's why Palestinians had to use alternative sources of media in order to show what's obvious, to show the redness of blood, even, like in Facebook, thousands and if not millions of people had to change either the names for saying Gaza, side of Hitler. Social media has been used, and system journalism has been used in order to break this monopoly of how the conflict is perceived. And we can talk about this as examples, but just I wanted to say that as a starting point for discussion, because we need to use the media in different ways.
Thank you. What I'm hearing is that there's a military, a corporate machinery, there's political motivations, there are things that are helping to peddle and perpetuate mistruths, and there's a need for moderation to uphold, like Superman, Clark Kent, the fight for truth and justice as a journalist. At the same time, using alternative media, social media, but then we have the problem, how do we tell the truth from the garbage? I'd like, Swati, I don't know if you have an opinion on this, and it's open to the other speakers as well. There was some sad news today that there's been some firefighting in Kabul, and 3 United Nations staff, at least 3, have been killed, and it's a somber moment indeed. One of the knock-on effects of media is that by providing media coverage to such issues, in some ways by giving the oxygen of publicity, we further the detrimental aims of perpetrators. How do we balance this with the importance of media freedom? What is your opinion on that? When we publicize the truth, the reporting of the truth, and we further conflict, or we further misrepresentations or prejudices, how do we balance that with media freedom?
Well, I think, like you said about this news, like if you go to our portal, the kind of news that we generally pick up, because of course we do go and pick up a lot of news from other sites and source them. Such news definitely do get a space on our portal, because we feel it brings out brings out the issues, but I think it's also the way the news is written. I mean, what is the content? What is it saying? Is it actually trying to fuel, thoughts which are actually breeding conflict or not? I think in terms of it, I would put it in the terms of the reporting. I mean, what is the purpose?
How it's reported. So it's
yes,
important to report it, but it's how
what
it's
is the
reporting
and how it is put together.
Peter, from your perspective in Kenya.
Yeah, Kenya and Middle East as well, Africa and Middle East. I think the whole notion of modern terrorism is based around the idea of publicity. I don't think we can escape that fact. A lot of the terror attacks are designed specifically to draw in public attention, to draw in the media, to draw us in with their cameras and so on, to broadcast this. But I don't think that the response should be to shut down media coverage of these things. The BBC last week was in the middle of a very interesting debate. It was a debate that took place in the UK. There was the head of the British National Party, a guy called Nick Griffin, which is a particularly nasty political character. He's a man that believes that Britain should expel all of the non-British people. They basically want to return the country to a pure white nation. He was a man who really supported the ideas of Adolf Hitler in a lot of respects. But he was an elected member of Parliament, and there was a lot of debate about whether or not the BBC should allow him on air to give his views public airing. The BBC was widely condemned before the debate because it was criticised for promoting racism and giving this guy the kind of oxygen of publicity that rather nasty phrase I think Margaret Thatcher originally coined when it came to the IRA. But after the debate, it became clear that the BBC was right because the public debate was so vitriolic. Nick Griffin lost so much credibility in that debate because it was open, because it was an open forum, because this was a debate that exposed the flaws in the argument for what it was.
Well, Peter, this might be true, but I also saw a poll that said 22% of the British public said that they would seriously consider voting for the BNP following this talk. So there's a real balance there. I'd like, if I may, Peter, thank you. It's obviously a complex issue. To open up to the floor now to hear your questions, your observations. Does anyone have a... Yes, please. If you would mind introducing yourself. I don't know if we have a handheld microphone that we can...
Oh, it's fine. I can speak loud. My name is Pereira. I came from Nepal. I have a question to query for lecture and National University from Palestine. Actually, we had a same story what you shared about your mother, and I want to say sorry about that. But we have the same story in Nepal also. How when you put your story in the website, now if people are, what's the impact? We have a culture to not share the story about this if happen in your family, friends, or colleagues. It's how it affect, how people perceive it. It's okay to perceive. I'm talking about not for foreigners and others. I'm talking about the Palestinian people. If when you put the story in the website, how people perceive it.